June 6, 1944. The sky above Nazi-occupied France was filled with hundreds of aircraft. Anti-aircraft fire ripped through the darkness as thousands of American paratroopers jumped into the unknown. Many landed miles away from their assigned targets. Some never reached the ground alive. But among the chaos stood one calm, determined officer whose courage would change history forever. His name was Richard Winters. A man who never considered himself a hero, yet became one of the greatest combat leaders of World War II. Richard Davis Winters was born on January 21, 1918, in Pennsylvania, United States. He grew up during difficult economic times, learning the values of discipline, honesty, and hard work from an early age. Unlike many boys who dreamed of becoming soldiers, Winters preferred a quiet life. He enjoyed reading, spending time outdoors, and working on farms. Leadership was never something he chased, but it was a quality that naturally followed him. After graduating from college, Winters was drafted into the United States Army in 1941. At first, he wasn't excited about military life. He had planned for a peaceful future, but the world had other plans. As World War II spread across Europe, America prepared for one of the largest military efforts in history. Winters attended officer candidate school, where his calm personality and excellent judgment quickly earned the respect of both instructors and fellow soldiers. Unlike many officers who believed fear could control men, Winters believed respect created stronger leaders. Soon, he was assigned to the newly formed 101st Airborne Division, an elite force of paratroopers trained to fight behind enemy lines. Within the division, Winters joined Easy Company of the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment. Training for the Airborne was brutal. The soldiers marched for miles carrying heavy equipment. They climbed obstacles, survived freezing weather, practiced night jumps, and repeated combat drills until every movement became instinct. Many recruits quit before finishing the course. Those who remained became some of the toughest soldiers in the U.S. Army. Easy Company was commanded by Captain Herbert Sobel during training. Sobel was extremely strict and demanded perfection from his men. Although he helped prepare the company physically, many soldiers believed he lacked the confidence and leadership needed for real combat. Winters quietly focused on his responsibilities, earning respect through competence rather than loud speeches. Eventually, command changes placed Winters in a stronger leadership position just before the company deployed to England. There, the soldiers prepared for one of history's most important military operations, Operation Overlord. The invasion of Normandy. For months, the men practiced parachute jumps, studied maps, memorized roads, bridges, and villages, knowing that one mistake could cost thousands of lives. Then came the night of June 5, 1944. Hundreds of transport aircraft lifted into the dark sky carrying thousands of paratroopers. Inside one of those planes sat Lieutenant Richard Winters. The aircraft shook violently as German anti-aircraft guns opened fire. Explosions flashed outside the windows. Red warning lights glowed inside the cabin. No one knew if they would survive the next few minutes. When the green light appeared, the soldiers jumped. Strong winds scattered the paratroopers across the French countryside. Instead of landing together, many landed alone, surrounded by enemy forces. Some lost their weapons. Some drowned in flooded fields. Others disappeared forever. When Winters reached the ground, he realized almost none of his platoon had landed nearby. Most officers would have waited for orders. Winters did the opposite. He immediately began searching for scattered American soldiers, regardless of which unit they belonged to. Within hours, he gathered a small group of around a dozen men. That tiny force would soon accomplish something extraordinary. Intelligence reports identified a German artillery position near the village of Brécourt Manor. 4 powerful 105mm cannons were firing toward Utah Beach, where thousands of Allied soldiers were landing under deadly enemy fire. Those guns had to be destroyed. The problem? Winters had only a handful of men. The German defenders outnumbered them and were protected by trenches and machine gun positions. Still, Winters decided to attack. Instead of charging recklessly, he carefully observed the battlefield. He divided his men into teams. One group provided covering fire while another moved along the trenches. Every movement was coordinated. Every decision had a purpose. As the attack began, Winters personally led from the front. His men moved from trench to trench, eliminating German positions one by one. Despite intense enemy resistance, they captured the artillery site and destroyed all 4 cannons. The assault lasted only a short time, but its impact was enormous. Military historians still study the Battle of Brécourt Manor today because it remains one of the finest examples of small unit tactics in modern warfare. The victory protected countless Allied troops landing on Utah Beach. More importantly, it showed what exceptional leadership could accomplish. Winters wasn't fearless. He later admitted that he felt fear like every other soldier. The difference was that he never allowed fear to control his decisions. His men noticed something unique about him. He never asked anyone to do something he wouldn't do himself. If danger waited ahead, Winters was usually the first one moving toward it. That example inspired incredible loyalty. As the Normandy campaign continued, Easy Company fought through villages, forests, and open fields. Every battle brought new losses. Friends who had trained together for years disappeared in seconds. Yet Winters continued leading with calm determination. His reputation spread throughout the regiment. Soldiers trusted him because his decisions consistently saved lives. Unlike many commanders who focused only on victory, Winters believed every soldier mattered. He carefully planned every mission, minimizing unnecessary risks whenever possible. His leadership style became one of intelligence, preparation, and personal courage. As Allied forces pushed deeper into France, Easy Company gained experience with every battle. They were no longer inexperienced young paratroopers. They had become hardened combat veterans. But even greater challenges were waiting ahead. The war was far from over. Soon they would face freezing winters, desperate German counterattacks, and one of the bloodiest battles fought by American soldiers in Europe. For Richard Winters, the greatest test of his leadership had only just begun.